When it comes to gerrymandering, the differences between Republicans and Democrats could not be any clearer. Republicans want a world where only their red states get to gerrymander and blue states are forced to use quote-unquote fair maps. Democrats want a world where either all states use fair maps or they have an opportunity to respond to Republican gerrymandering by gerrymandering their state, which is why this Virginia referendum tomorrow is so important. And this hypocrisy is summed up no better than by this guy, Scott Presler, who is a big MAGA activist. He was literally in Indiana primarying folks who voted against gerrymandering as Republicans to then fly to a rally in Virginia to try to stop Democrats from gerrymandering that state. And when it comes to this cycle of mid-decade redistricting, the math could not be any clearer. We need to pass these new maps in Virginia tomorrow just to keep the balance equal between Republican and Democratic changes. So far, we've had changes in Texas, Missouri, North Carolina, and Ohio that benefit Republicans. We had California pass a referendum for new maps, and we had Utah, a legal case, force Republicans to draw one Democratic seat in the state. We still have Florida redistricting outstanding. They're looking to pick up anywhere between 1 and 5 seats, and the only way to keep the math balanced is to get these 4 additional seats in Virginia, and that will leave the balance anywhere between advantage 1 for Democrats to advantage 4 for Republicans. And the math is very clear that up until this point, Republicans have been the consistent beneficiary of gerrymandering across the United States. There was only one large blue state that had gerrymandered maps prior to mid-cycle redistricting, and that was Illinois. California now does because of their referendum. New York does not and cannot until 2028. The same is true for Colorado. The same is true for Washington. So these other states are going to have to change their rules if they want to gerrymander by 2028, which they all are hopefully on the path to doing. And the reality is, even in Virginia, 16 years ago, Republicans drew this map, which only had 3 Democratic seats, and they drew this insane district in the southeast where they linked together all of the Democratic communities from Richmond down to those little cities down there in the southeast, basically making one blue district separated by large stretches of water. And the reality is, when it comes to Colorado, Virginia, all of these states that have transitioned from red to blue on the way out of power, Republicans passed nonpartisan gerrymandering because they knew they were losing power in the state. So the only time Republicans have ever supported nonpartisan gerrymandering is in blue states because they knew they would have a big disadvantage there once Democrats took power, or in the case of California, they helped pass that proposition. So the truth in the United States is that most Democratic states do not allow gerrymandering, Republican states do, and the only way we're ever going to have a fair process is Democrats need to gerrymander the F out of their states so that Republicans come to the table and actually want to pass national legislation to ban gerrymandering.